Hello everyone, this is another video from Easy Electric series, and today we want to learn the different way that you could interface a switch with the I/O pins in your microcontroller. So technically, whenever you want to interface a switch with one of the I/O pins or input of your microcontroller, so technically you could use two logic there. So what the first one, this is what we call the positive logic, and the second one is the negative logic. So here you could see what's the difference between these two. So if one side of these is the pin, the I/O pins of your microcontroller, here is the same. So definitely whenever you connect the switch to the microcontroller pins, it has two different cases, right? The switch could be open and closed, and the switch could be closed. So in positive logic, so whenever the switch is open, so the I/O pins is the 0 volt or 0 logic. And whenever you close the switch, the I/O microcontroller I/O pins is the logic 1, or for our microcontroller, in the other word, it is 3.3 volt. So the other name for this, we call that, if you do this, so take a look to this small circuit which somehow implement the positive logic. So here you have the switch, so see whenever it is open, you actually you have the 0 volt here. So in this circuit, if this is open, so this connected, these PO0 pins connected to the 10K to the ground, so this is 0 volt. So this is exactly the same case. Whenever it's closed, so you this 3.3 volt is here. Technically, this pin is 1. So this is what we call the other term for these implementation of the positive logic. We call that pull down. What's the meaning of the pull down? Somehow you implement the positive logic there. So it means this is down technically. So that means this is the 0 volt. So in the normal case, whenever you don't push the switch, this is down. So whenever you push the switch, these actually change to the 0, which is somehow is exactly implementation of this positive logic that you see here. So for pulling down any I/O pins in the microcontroller, you have two different ways. Number one, you could do that physically with external circuit like this. You could implement pull down or keep pull down I/O pins in the microcontroller. Or the second way is actually using the software. We have pull down register inside the microcontroller with writing the one in that corresponding bits. You could do actually the each I/O pins actually pull down. So that means two different methods. This is using the hardware, or you actually able to initialize the pull down register that we have, which is technically do exactly same thing, but it's happen inside your microcontroller, and you don't need to have this physical circuit here. Somehow you do or implement the positive logic with the software and writing the one in corresponding pin in pull down register. So in the opposite side, we have the negative logic. What's the meaning of the negative logic? So it means if again you want to interface the switch with the I/O pins, so similar case, you have two open and closed cases for switch. In the negative logic, unlike the positive logic, whenever switch is open, so the I/O pins is 1 or 3.3 volt. Whenever it is closed, it is 0 volt. So if you want to implement the negative logic, you see actually the circuit here. So see if I implement this circuit, connect that to the port E pin 0. So whenever it is open, so these 3.3 volt comes through, these are connected to this. So that means whenever switch is open, the pins is 1 or 3.3 volt. Whenever you close it, so it somehow connect to the ground, so and it's changed to the 0. What's the other technical name for a negative logic is pull up. So in microcontroller, if you pull up a pins, it means you implement the negative logic. So that means the pin, the I/O pins technically is up. So that means if you don't push the switch, it is up or it is 1. It is only case to turn 0 if you actually push this button. So again, similar with pull down, we have pull up register. So for implement the negative logic or pull up, you could have the external circuit like this, which keep these IO pins pull up, or you use the pull up register. So that means you could do the same, but this time you just need to write 1 in the pull up register. It's going to actually keep or pull up the corresponding bits. So same with pull down, you could use the pull up register for keeping the any IO pins actually up or implement the negative logic. So I hope you find this video useful. Thank you for watching this video.